39 Lok Sabha constituencies in Tamil Nadu and one constituency in Puducherry is going to the polls on Friday. Exactly a month ago, when the campaign started, there was a lot of perception that the DMK is going to sweep 40 out of 40. That was the DMK dream. A month later, as the campaign has come to a close and people march to the polling stations, is it the same? Well, at least 4 constituencies appear to be having a tough fight. Still, I will not stick my neck out and say how many seats, who's going to win, but it looks likely that at least these 4 constituencies will have a tough fight. Of these 4 seats, 2 have BJP candidates and 2 have NDA's other constituent candidates: Coimbatore, Teni, Tirunelveli and Dharmapuri. In Coimbatore, we have K. Annamalai, BJP's state president, contesting. He has kicked up quite a dust, and the contest is looking very keenly fought, especially because of the optics and the high decibel campaigning. On the ground, if you look at it, in all the 4 constituencies which I named are not so dissimilar from the other constituencies when it comes to electoral mathematics. Simple, the AIA, DMK and BJP as alliance partners split in September last, and so their votes are going to be split as well. So even in Coimbatore, where Annamalai claims that he is going to get 60% of the votes, the arithmetic is heavily loaded against him, because AIA-DMK has Coimbatore as one of its strongholds. It belongs to the western belt along with other places like Erode, Salem, Dharmapuri. So it is going to be an uphill task for Annamalai, but then there are certain factors which work in his favor. For one, Narendra Modi's high-profile campaigns in Coimbatore. Modi has spent at least 3 days in Tamil Nadu after campaign started 3 weeks ago. He has visited the state 8 times since January this year. So the high-profile campaigns of not just Modi, but Amit Shah, JP Nadda and other leaders have also added to the ammunition of Annamalai and company. But the DMK's candidate Ganapathy Rajkumar is no less popular a figure in Coimbatore. So while the arithmetic is loaded against Annamalai, there are certain factors like, for example, the promise of Annamalai, where once he is elected, becoming a minister in Narendra Modi's cabinet. We know that a lot of industries are based out of Coimbatore, and industrialists were supporting the BJP, especially because Narendra Modi looks like making a comeback for a 3rd time as Prime Minister. What may go against Annamalai here is, of course, certain statements he made that if the AIA-DMK wins, that the party will go back to TTV Dinakaran, a Theva. This has kind of divided Gounder votes, and that may go against Annamalai. And DMK, for the last 1 week, working overnight, meeting influential people in the constituency to make sure that whatever headway Annamalai has made is negated and DMK wins back its votes. Now getting to Teni. Incidentally, interestingly, 2 of the constituencies where NDA seem to have a good chance of giving a good fight are not BJP seats but those of its allies. In Teni, you have TTV Dinakaran of AMMK contesting, and in Dharmapuri, you have Soumya Anbumani of the PMK. These 2 candidates seem to have made much headway during the last 3 weeks of campaign. If you look at Teni, TTV belongs to a neighborhood and he has represented a neighboring constituency earlier. He also has the image of having been in the good books of J. Jayalalitha, and it's a stronghold of AIA-DMK. The last election, the only seat the AIA-DMK won was Teni, which was O. Paneerselvam's son, Ravindranath. So TTV is on a strong wicket, but then the DMK is again leaving no stone unturned, because they know that TTV is a dangerous candidate, having proven his winning skills, his strategies in RK Nagar in Chennai in a bypoll after Jayalalitha died. In Dharmapuri, PMK sprang a surprise by replacing its candidate a day after the nomination was filed and bringing in Soumya Anbumani, wife of Anbumani. Soumya seems to be on a roll, going by ground reports when it comes to campaign, very colorful campaigns. And we also need to understand that 2014, the only 2 seats the NDA won. One was Dharmapuri, where Anbumani won by a decent margin. So this is a place which has a lot of one-year votes, also sentiment to go with who's in power at the center. So Soumya seems to be on a strong wicket, but again DMK is pulling all stops in Dharmapuri to win back the lost ground. The 4th constituency, which is perceived to have a tight fight, is Tirunelveli in southern Tamil Nadu, where Nayanar Nagendran of the BJP is contesting against Robert Bruce of Congress, who is part of the DMK alliance. AIA-DMK has nominated Jhansi Rani. Here Nayanar Nagendran is quite a popular name. He has been working even when he was not in power, even when he was not an elected member. Nayanar Nagendran made sure that his presence has always been there, and he has cultivated a lot of villages, and he enjoys good support, and the name sells. And Nayanar Nagendran has a history of being an AIA-DMK minister, being with the ADMK for a long time. But his loyalty he has been able to carry even when he migrated to the BJP. The influencing factors here could be Nayanar's grassroots presence, consolidation of Thevar votes, and also Robert Bruce is seen as an outsider. Not that outsider matters, because almost 70% of candidates in across constituencies are outsiders, so to say. But Anand Nagendran has been able to sell that he is the son of the soil. For these 4 constituencies, we may expect some good fight, a tough fight. This doesn't necessarily mean that the margins are going to be less, because a lot can change the last 24 hours. Again, going back to the arithmetic, DMK seems to be on a strong wicket, because if you look at the last 2 elections, 2019 and 2014, the alliances, when they have got it right, when the Congress and the CPI and the CPM have been with them, and the VCK, the Dalit Party VCK, have been with the DMK, DMK has put up a good show. 2014, AIA-DMK swept the state also because it was a 4-cornered fight. In this case, DMK seems to have a very cohesive alliance with all its constituents together, and the AIA-DMK and BJP are split. While the BJP has been able to retain PMK, the AIA-DMK has not been able to keep with them their old folks. So, if the AIA-DMK's and BJP's traditional vote banks remain intact for the respective parties, the DMK is going to make gains, and in all these 4 constituencies, DMK still can make it big. With only a few hours before polling begins in Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, the DMK-led alliance is on a strong wicket. It has the arithmetic strength, it has the cohesion. But the BJP-led NDA and the AIA-DMK alliance are not giving up. Can things change? Well, a few hours is eternity in politics.